Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Welcome back, everybody, to the Revenge of the Sea team on the Beyond server. Hope everybody's doing good. So... oh my god, I forgot to turn this off. Oh no! Oh no. Wait a minute. Why is there so many in here? Is this off? Stuffed items? What? No! No, 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 no. Maybe it can't keep up. So I added the chicken thing because there's only 5 stacks in here. Oh no, it's the feathers. Oh no, oh no. So I added the chicken thing because I wanted to get some more emeralds. I don't know if I showed you this guy. I'm going to name him at some point. This is going to be Larry King. And so I've been trading with this guy. He's awesome. 19 wheat, no problem. I'm pretty much unlimited wheat. It was a very cheap 2nd level, very cheap 3rd level, very cheap 4th, very cheap 5th, 6th, 7th. And then we had to get this raw chicken. So I started throwing some chicken up there. And I actually could probably turn it off by this point, because I don't need him anymore. Now I need cooked fish. But I mean, look how cheap that is. I mean, every time I do that, you know, I can unlock the wheat, and I've got wheat for days. So, so I started the chicken thing, and it looks as though we are 5 stacks of feathers. So what is clogged up? Oh, we actually get golden feathers? Oh, no, there's 16 of those. We should be okay with that. What else is there? Do I not have an open drawer? I guess I don't. Oh, there, eggs. It's only 5 stacks of eggs. Maybe it's that I don't have. Huh. I think it might be because there's just so much stuff in there because of how fast they breed and die. I don't know. That's weird. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to kill all these guys. Let me start first by killing all of these guys, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Alright, so I got that mess taken care of. We got about 8 stacks of chicken, we got a bunch more feathers and eggs and all that crap. So, I thought it might help the lag, but no, it didn't. I think my problem is that I'm using carpenter's blocks, and somebody told me that carpenter's blocks were a fairly significant source of lag. And for some reason I remember hearing that a couple years ago, that every time the carpenter's blocks has to like render twice or 3 times or something, and so I think that's what's happening here. Which is a shame because, I mean, you can't do these kind of things unless you actually have these kind of blocks, like slope blocks. But unfortunately, you have to use carpenter's blocks for that, and it is what it is, I guess. I cannot do this structure without these blocks, so I'm just gonna have to kind of grin and bear it, and hopefully it just doesn't drive me absolutely insane. I've done some changes to my video settings, so hopefully some of that will, I think this would be actually a lot worse if I didn't have that, but right now I am at 8 frames per second, and as soon as I get away where this isn't in my render field, I'm back up to like 30 frames, and when I'm not recording, it's up like 50, so the video changes in the game did make a difference, but it's not enough. So anyway, I guess we're just gonna have to live with it for now. Oh my god, fly, dude. I can't even fly because of frames. What is going on? Anyway, time to move on to other things. So, you may have saw this around the corner. Oh, I went to the nether and picked up a bunch of glowstone. And I also went and... ooh, more donuts. And went to... one of those islands to get some slime blocks, because we're going to need some slime, I think, at some point in the near future for another thing. Man, I'm not seeing people log in. What is going on? Glammy left, but I don't see her log... I never saw her message log in. We also added this new mod, a couple of new mods that are, I guess, are supposed to help, since we are a YouTube server, kind of tell people when we're recording or not. I don't... I mean, sorry, Jill. I don't like it. I've unbound all of the key settings for this thing. So there's nothing in the controls. So if I go in here... let's see, where is it? I'm recording mod. I've got nothing set. And I think that was the only one. Streaming. I don't really care about streaming. And that's it. And I think it also uses numpad 0, or it did. I think I unset it. So I got nothing set. But when I use my mute key or my volume key, it... I mean, I think it's a bug with the way the mods are done. I don't know how it's done, but when I use those keys on my keyboard, not only does it change the message here, which is irritating when you're turning the volume up and down, it's just spamming here, but it also changes this view on the mini-map to night and day, toggles it, so it's a little frustrating. I don't know how to fix it. If anybody does, please let me know. So we have, I made a few more of these solar generators. I think I used up most of the diamonds we had. And what I want to do is I want to move these, oh my lord, I want to move these up here. And man, this is terrible. I don't know how you guys deal with this. So I want to put them up here, and I've kind of set things out and kind of mapped it out how I want them to set up. It's not going to be the exact same setup, but more or less the same, just because of the space constraints. So if we go down here, I think this is where we're going to put like our, like the tesseract and stuff, or not the tesseract. Well, I guess the tesseract and the energy cells. We're not going to have a way in here unless I put like a window in that I can fly through. But I do have a door here. Once we finish laying out the second floor, so you know, we'll have a way that we can access this stuff if we need to. So I want to move them up here, but if I move them up here, I don't want the machines also to be up here, so I need to get a machine room going, which brings me to a huge thing that's going to change. Let's see, let's go downstairs. Oop, wrong way. Alright, so where are we? Alright, so I don't like the way that I have the storage room set up. So I'm not going to, long term, maybe short term, I don't want to have this elevator here, because really it shouldn't be there. And this storage room is mostly just the kind of storage for, just basic storage for the house. What I want to do is, and so I think I'm going to change this over to manual, so it might have some foodstuffs and stuff here. And then when we go down here, like all of this I think is going to go away. I think I'm going to move it, because it doesn't make sense to have it over here. And I'm finding that it's like having access to this stuff in such a small room, it's really difficult to craft things. And you know, the way I had originally planned it was I would go down another floor, and and have this floor here and have storage around here. But, you know, going up and down floors and stuff to have access to everything is kind of, I don't know, it's annoying is what it is. So I think what I'm going to do is come up with a new design. I've been actually working on some pen and paper stuff to kind of lay out how I want the kind of the underground stuff to look. So if we go, let's go through the house. So I want to go through, and we've kind of changed the way that we have the secret room. Man, this is terrible. Okay, so we go through the secret room here, and so I got rid of the... I probably could actually put it back in. Oh, no, I can't. I'm off a block. So I kind of done this and built this little tunnel. So in the actual show, you got a stairway down here to a tunnel that leads to an elevator that takes you down into like the subterranean stuff, where they have the portal room and all that stuff. So what I thought was that I would branch off here and put the kind of the main room with all of the storage for all of the items, and put a couple of machines in here anyway, so that, and have just kind of the main sorting system just all on this floor. So I've got a design for that. So I think that's what I'm gonna work on this episode, is kind of fleshing that room out and putting in the sorting system and the item kind of handling system, and just make sure that we've got enough storage space so that we don't end up with stuff backing up. Alright, we're back, and the frames are not much better right here. I have done some changes though in the past little while, but first I think the change I want to make right now is we want to get some of these machines. I've come to the conclusion that my CPU is not that good. Which is unfortunate, but hey, what are you gonna do? I may be looking to upgrade my CPU, which really hadn't wanted to do, but it is what it is. But I have done a lot of work. We can lose 250 millibuckets. That's okay. Okay, so what we got here is we got all of our power and stuff and our machines, and we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to move the machines inside and sort of set them up, and we're also going to set a machine up here, or actually we're going to set these guys up here and redo the setup that we've got with the, what is it called, redneck controller? Yeah, that's what it's called. So what I've done in here is I've replaced all of the walls. I was trying to do some lag busting. I'm not sure I was entirely successful. So the first thing I did was replaced all of the walls on the interior with actual wood, and I think what we're going to use is micro blocks to do the covering rather than use the carpenter blocks. So, but up here we're still using carpenter blocks for the roof, and I think that's where a lot of the lag is coming in. But you know, there's only so much I can do. I also redesign all of the shelves here and move them down. I think it's going to look better, and we're going to put this together in a second. But I also overclocked my CPU. Apparently when I did my reinstall of my system, I did not take into account that I thought the overclock actually carried over. I thought it was like on the CPU or something, but that's not the case. So I've got overclocker, AMD overdrive, so I'm using that, and overclocked it by 22 times, so it's got a boost. Probably, I think we're running, I think it's at 4.7 gigahertz or so. So it does certainly help a lot of things. It does help the frames. I mean, right now, I'm not getting very good frames. They're back up here to like 30 frames, which is great compared to what I've been getting. But when I'm recording back here, at least I'm in double digits. Before I was getting like 7 or 8. So I'm happy with some of those changes that we've made. So I installed all of these guys, and the idea was that this was kind of going to snake around all the way to back like to here, and it was going to go over here as well. But I guess I somehow fundamentally misunderstood something about the way the storage drawers work, because they don't work the way I thought they worked. They only go 12 blocks away from the controller. No matter how many of the slaves you use, it still is only a range of 12 from the controller. So this is going to go out 12 blocks and 12 blocks, and you can connect them up that much. So I was like connecting them like right here and just having it extend across. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up 3 individual storage controllers. So I'm gonna put one against this wall. I've got one over here, and I'm gonna have one over there. So I took out the slave over here, and I take out the slave here. So now we're gonna have 3 distinct segments that are all gonna be controlled by their own controller, and we're going to use the tesseracts to basically send the items through some pipes and get them to where they need to go. So we're gonna send the pipes through here first, I think. So probably getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so we would have like the tesseract back here, let's say, and then the pipe will go in here. It'll branch off and go over there. It'll branch off and go over here. And then for the barrels, I'm going to do something different. We're going to branch off and use like a vacuum pipe to make sure that it's the farthest away, so that anything that doesn't find a home in the inventory will get sent out to the barrels. And then, actually, no, the barrels I think we're going to use filters or requesters. The chests over here are the ones that are going to use the vacuum hoppers, or the vacuum item ducts. Yeah, something like that. I knew this all a couple of days ago, but I've been kind of doing some things around the house, so I haven't had time to play as much. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a couple more controllers created. We're going to stick them in here, stick them in there, and then we'll start working on the pipes. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so what I wanted to show you here was what I'm going to do is we're going to set up machines under here, and they're going to get power. And so I think the magma crucible is going to go here. So they're going to get power underneath. We're going to manually put the power in here, and then they're going to output the results back into the system. So we can do it manually or automated. This will be a stopgap until we actually get everything in place. So let me start putting these things down, hooking the power up and stuff, and when we come back, hopefully we can end the episode and just kind of show you what we got. Good gravy, I think I have it. Okay, so what I've done is I put the controller here for this side of the room. I have put the controller... Whoa, which direction am I going? Holy crap. I put the controller here just to kind of make it closer so I'm not running item ducts all over the place. And I have... what have I done? I've taken out some items here. I've got a hopper, which doesn't fit anywhere. I have 28 rotten flesh, so the drawer that has the rotten flesh is empty, so there's 0. But since it's locked, it still is reserved for rotten flesh. So there's a place for it to go. And I've got 7 crafting tables, or crafting stations. Again, those are allocated over here, and there's none in there, as you can see. 0 crafting stations. And I have ender dust, 20 ender dust. There's a spot for it here. And the last one I have is diorite. I've got 64 diorite, which is all of the diorite that was in this barrel here. So it is locked for diorite. All of these are locked, so all of the drawers and all of the barrels that have empty, I'm reserving them for something else. So rather than have random items going to them, I'm just blanking them out and reserving them. So let's go back here and see what we got going on. It's a little laggy. It's not going to change. Alright, so just to kind of simulate how this works. So we've got, I made some impulse item ducts. So this is basically just using item ducts, sticking them in a liquid trans something or other. I've got it over there. And so I think it's a liquid transposer. So you use glowstone dust, and you melt that down in the magma crucible, and that goes into the liquid transposer, and you put in your normal item ducts. And I've got these all opaque, so I don't have too much lag. I got enough of it as it is. And so to simulate it, I've just got to kind of pull it out of this chest. But otherwise, it would just kind of come out of the tesseract. So we've got 3 different paths that we can go. We've got directly into the sorting system here. So these are the short barrels. Short barrels, oh my god. The storage drawers. And then over here, you know what? Let's go over this way first. So we've got the storage drawers here directly in there. And then we've got I think this is the void one. Decreases path length dramatically. Okay, so I'm not sure if it decreases it enough that this is the first path it goes to, but it does work. So I want the first choice if the items are coming down here, or if they're coming in directly because of the void pipe. I want them to go into the barrels first, because those have already been allocated. So those are a fixed inventory. So I want them to go in there first, and then secondarily I want them to go into either this side of the room, so this bank here, or this bank of drawers in the middle of the room, or to come over here to this controller down here, and this will serve these guys over this way. If there's no inventory, I gotta put some doors up here. These stupid zombies keep coming down there, harassing Larry. So if there is no inventory in either the storage drawers of the 3 sections or the barrels, then they're gonna go into these chests. And I've separated or unlinked the pipes here so that they're separate enough. So these guys here all just kind of flow into chests, so we can randomly sort it or not sort it, or just kind of have a drop off for a catch-all. So let's use this and see how this works. So we've got a hopper, we've got rotten flesh, crafting station, and ender dust, and diorite. So if we go check these out, so the rotten flesh, we have 28 in there now, so there was 0, so that works. Over here, we should have a stack of diorite, and we do. Awesome. We should have 7 crafting stations, and we do. And we should have ender dust. Why is there no ender dust there? We'll have to look into that. I would have thought that would have been the easy one. I did put it in there, right? So the ender dust didn't get sorted, so I'm gonna have to do, I think, some troubleshooting. But I think for the most part, all the tests that I've done have worked, except for that one. I don't know why. It's supposed to be 12 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's fine. And I think it's like a 25 by 25 one. Oh, maybe that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think, you know what? This sucks, man. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. I think the problem is that this row here and this row here are too far away. So it's supposed to be a 25 by 25 square. Wait a minute. 20, that should work. It's supposed to be 12 away on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should work. Why did that not work? What if we try and do this? That seems to work. Huh. Alright, so I'm gonna have to tweak this then, do some more testing. It works. I don't know why it didn't send the item directly in there and instead went over this way. I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, so the sorting system works beautifully. I'll work on this off camera, trying to figure out why that did that. And then we'll try and hook up the item system down below. So we've got... Oh, down. So we've got all these guys here. So our ender pouch comes over here and just kind of automatically sorts into these barrels. We actually probably could get rid of these barrels, put them somewhere else. So we've got all this stuff here that we need to sort, and the perfect place to do that is our sorting system. And then we've got this guy running for a while, and we've got a bunch of 6 shinies. So we've got all this stuff digging up, and yeah. So we just need a place for this to go. So instead of having it go into here, I think we'll have this chest go into a tesseract that's sitting on top of here. Perhaps this one. Oh. Alright, so I think we'll call that an episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any comments or suggestions... Oh, excuse me. I was okay until that point. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. And until next episode, please do take care.